Hello, my dear students. I am Asad Hussain Khan, your SST teacher, once again with a new chapter, Institutional Representation of Democracy. My dear students, if you have not subscribed our YouTube channel till now, please subscribe it and press the bell icon for latest updates. Dear children, in this chapter we will study about the democracy, functions of legislature, procedure of elections, nature of political parties, requirement of by-election, importance of universal adult franchise, need of election campaign, way to vote by ballot paper, about electronic voting machine, and formation of coalition government. It is neither possible nor necessary for people to govern directly. The most common form of democracy in our time is for the people to govern through their representatives. People elect their representatives for a fixed period of time. They run the government in accordance with the wishes of the people, and if they do not do so, people throw them out in the next election. In democracy, the right to elect representative is called vote. People control the government through their votes. The president is the nominal head at the central level. The real executive authority is exercised by the Council of Ministers, headed by the Prime Minister. They are collectively responsible to the legislature. Legislature is the organ that makes laws. In India, this is done by Parliament at the center and state legislature in the states. India has double set of government, union government and state government. Union has its own legislature called Parliament. All legislative powers of the Union are exercised by Parliament, which consists of two houses and the President. The Parliament two houses are Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Indian legislature is a bicameral legislature. A democratic country becomes meaningful when all citizens participate in it, especially in elections. Franchise or right to vote is available to the entire adult population of the country. The people are given the right of the formation of government by using their right to vote. The elections create interest in the public in the administration. For the peaceful transfer of authority and to ensure people's confidence in the government, it is essential that election should be free and impartial. If people lose confidence in the election system, then democracy collapses. In a vast country like India, it is not easy to hold elections. Its preparation requires sufficient time. Election Commission remains busy throughout the year in making arrangements for the same. Election Commission prepares electoral rolls. The name of all adults living in the territorial constituency are enrolled in one general electoral roll that is called voter list. Actual process of election starts with the announcement of the dates for elections. After the date for election is declared, the candidates file the nomination papers to contest the elections. National parties have their permanent symbols. Other parties and independent candidates are also allotted symbols so that the voters can recognize the candidates easily. On the fixed date, which is declared a public holiday, the polling starts. On the fixed date, The counting takes place in the presence of the candidates and results are declared by the appropriate authority. If candidates feel that irregularities have taken place, corrupt practices have been adopted by the winning candidate, he can file election petition in the court of law. Election and political parties are not inseparable. These form an integral part of democracy. A political party is a group of persons having the same political beliefs or ideology. All parties publicize their policies through newspapers, public meetings, and other means and try to create public opinion in their favor. Political parties create the political interest in the country and educate the people. In the absence of political parties, the people cannot fulfill interest in their communities and classes. In our country, we follow an area-based system of representation. Country is divided in different areas. Each area is known as electoral constituency. A representative is elected from each constituency. This representative raises the issues of his constituency. Members of parliament are known as MPs and members of state legislatures are known as MLAs and MLCs. If any member resigned his post or died, fresh elections are held on that seat. This is called by-election. If any member died and his family member contests the election on that seat, often he or she gets the sympathy of the voters. By-elections are reflected by the ruling party. Sometimes MLAs are elected for the parliament, so they resign their lower post. Sometimes members vacate their seats for chief minister or any other minister who are unelected and have portfolio. Our constitution allowed all the citizens to elect their representative and to be elected as a representative. The framers of the Indian Constitution were worried that in an open electoral competition, certain weaker sections may not stand a good chance to get elected to the legislative bodies, such as Lok Sabha and the state legislative assemblies. They may not have the required resources, education, and contact to contest and win an election against the others. Those who are powerful, resourceful, and influential may prevent them from winning elections. If that happens, our parliament and assemblies would be deprived of the voice of significant sections of the population, this weaker section of the population. So, the makers of our constitution proposed of a special system of reserved constituencies for the weaker sections. Some constituencies are reserved for people who belong to the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. In present, out of 552 seats in the Lok Sabha, 79 seats are reserved for scheduled caste and 41 seats are reserved for scheduled tribes. All Indian citizens who have attained the age of 18 years have the right to vote. There is no qualification of property or education required for universal adult franchise. One person, one vote is the accepted principle of all democratic countries. The principle of equality holds that everybody, whatever rich or poor, young or old, black or white, man or woman, learned or illiterate, should have equal voice in democracy. The right to vote is given to all, and all are given a chance to choose the government of the country. Only criminals, persons of unsound mind, and those declared bankrupt are not allowed to vote. In election campaigns, political parties try to focus public attention on certain big issues. They want to attract the public to those issues and get them to vote for their party. According to an election law, a candidate cannot offer bribe to voters. He cannot threaten the voters. A candidate cannot appeal to the voter on the name of religion or caste. A candidate also cannot use governmental resources for election campaign. He cannot spend A candidate who is contesting the election cannot spend more than 25 lakh rupees for the Lok Sabha elections and 10 lakh rupees for assembly elections. Once elections are announced, ministers shall not announce or lay foundation stone of any project. At the day of election, the voters whose name is on the voter list can go to a nearby polling booth. Once the voter goes inside the booth, the election official identify him or her. He put a mark on his finger and allow him to cast a vote. Voter can cast his vote the candidate whom he like. A ballot paper is a piece of paper on which voter indicates his choice or opinion in an election. A paper used for voting in a parliamentary or local government election having the names of the candidates printed on it. In order to express his consent for a particular candidate's ballot paper is used. The voter is required to make a special mark, either a circle, cross mark, etc. The ballot paper consists of the list of candidates appearing for the election with their names and symbols. The voters cast his vote and drop the ballot paper in the ballot box. Later, the ballot box is opened and the votes are counted by authorized personnel. Electronic voting machine is the standard means of conducting elections. Before the introduction of electronic voting, India used ballot paper and manual counting. Once the polling is over, all the electronic voting machines are sealed and taken to a secured place. After few days, on the pre-decided date, all the EVMs from the constituencies are opened and the votes secured by each candidate are counted. The candidate who secures the highest number of votes from a constituency is declared elected. When a single party fails to form its government owing to insufficient number of members, it has to seek the help and cooperation of other political parties to form the government. This government is called a coalition government. Coalition governments allow representation of various regional parties. However, decision making takes more time over certain issues because of different views of different party members. The first coalition government at the center was formed in the 6th general elections held in 1977. At the state level, coalition government were formed after the 4th general elections. Now some important questions are there. First is, what is democracy? According to Abraham Lincoln, democracy is a government of the people, for the people and by the people. Question number 2, what is electoral constituency? Answer is, The country is divided into different areas for the purpose of election. These areas are called electoral constituency. Next question is, what do you mean by universal adult franchise? Answer is, all the people who are 18 years of age or above have right to vote. They are called universal adult franchise. Next question is, what is ballot paper? A ballot paper is a sheet of paper on which the names of the contesting candidates along with their party names and symbols are listed. Next and last question is, who conducts the elections of the country? Answer is, Election Commission of India conducts the elections of the country. So dear students, by this way we have completed this chapter. I hope you would understand this chapter nicely. If there is any confusion, you can write in comment box. We will meet again with a new chapter. Till then, goodbye.